A very good evening to you. This is the Fight Show on Sports Tonight, of course, on prime time. We are building up to Earthquake in Essex and looking at all the action on what is, again, a very busy boxing weekend. As ever, Spencer Oliver, how are you, sir?
Really well, thanks, Tom.
And just before we start looking ahead to all the action, it's been another monumental week in the world of boxing. Are we any closer now to seeing Tyson Fury, David Price in the heavyweights? They were both in action, of course, last weekend. Both won in different ways.
I think that the collision stays on course, but are we any closer? I don't think so, not at this stage. I think that, I think the idea is for one of them to go and win a world title before they eventually box each other. I mean, it really is building up to be a great little contest, though, isn't it?
I mean, Price did what he did in spectacular fashion again, taking out Skelton with almost, again, no minutes on the clock.
Look, you've got to give Skelton some credit. He come out there and he give it a go, didn't he? And I think that threw Price a little bit. He was a little bit shocked the way that he come out, but he got himself together and showed, the class that he is and the talent that he is. And for me, makes him the best talent in the country at the moment.
Fury, of course, it was a different proposition against Johnson. It was a bit of a tedious fight in many ways, but he did get what he wanted to do, rounds under the belt, and he boxed what he thought was a very clever fight. Yeah,
you can't take nothing away from Fury because he obviously had a game plan. He showed that. He moved on the back foot. He was boxing nicely, didn't stand still, didn't want to mix it with Johnson. But Johnson didn't come to fight, did he? He turned up, and this is a guy that's boxed for the world heavyweight title against Klitschko, lost some points. You'd expect a little bit more, he's realised this could get him back into the big time, but a little bit of a disappointment from Johnson, but Tyson Fury still got the job done in what was a disappointing fight.
And just as well, it was good to see Bob Shannon back to winning ways with his boy Denton Vassell, which was a cracking fight against Ronnie Heffron, which was a bill overshadowed, of course, by the headline, which was Freddie Flintoff. Now, contrast there straight away, isn't there, between the two fights?
Unbelievable. I mean, Vassell, nobody heard about it, did they? And for me, it was fight of the night, and I thought it was a cracking fight. And I'm really pleased for him getting back into his winning ways. And I'm pleased for Bob Shannon and Heffron put up a great performance as well. And then we move on to Flintoff. Listen, you got to give Flintoff credit for what he done. Got himself in shape, lost 3 stone. But was it worthy of top billing? I don't think so. I thought that, I'm pleased for him that he's fulfilled his dream, but I think that he should end there. I don't think that, he should continue boxing. He's got the win. He's got what he wanted. I can't see him moving on much more than that.
Well, we're going to get what we want, and that is a cracking night's entertainment in Essex. It is the Earthquake in Essex, so let's have a look at what we've already seen here and what we can look forward to on the night. So top of the bill once more, it is Kris Agyei-Dua against Natham Graham, and they fought out a really hard-fought draw. But a fella that's helped shape this bill is with us now, international matchmaker Derek Waddell. We're looking at this bill, Derek. It's a cracker again, against so many 50-50 fights. And just tell us a little bit about your role with Goodwin Promotions with getting this fight show together.
Well, what I basically do is I liaise between the promoters and the boxing managers as trainers. To match, suitable opponents for the home boxers.
How tricky is that now? We do see some of these guys coming from Eastern Europe in particular and over here. I mean, you must be well connected. I mean, how do you actually bring these guys? How do you check on their progress and make sure they're suitable? Because of course we know that Goodwin Promotions, they want live fights. There's no gimmies in their contests. It's always going to be about having credible opponents, as Billy Kaiser found out last time. Yeah.
Well, I've built up quite an extensive network of contacts over the years, all around Europe and in Eastern Europe, Latvia, Lithuania, Hungary, Bulgaria, different countries. I've got to know quite a lot of the opponents now because I've brought them over on a regular basis, and so I know quite a lot about them, about their backgrounds.
Well, you certainly don't bring over anybody that's coming for the paycheck, do you? I mean, some of the fighters we see time and time again, these guys that come over from Europe, some of them just come in with their cameras, pick up a paycheck and then they're off back home or whatever. But I mean, you bring some real live opponents, don't you? Because I mean, we see it last time out on London's Calling on the York Hall Bill. I mean, you brought over some real credible opponents.
Yeah. You see, without mentioning any names, a couple of years ago there were a couple of opponents that came over that were brought over from Latvia, and they were stopped pretty quickly in a couple of rounds. And the Latvian boxers came in for a lot of criticism because of that. And what I try to do is not bring in, you know, I try not to organise mismatches. I try to bring in opponents that are going to actually teach the home boxers something, you know, bring them on and, you know, try and make them like lively, competitive matches.
Well, I think that's what the public want now, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, people are fed up with seeing that, you know, where you can pick the winner down one side of the card and the loser. People need to see that 50-50. I mean, you know, in its current climate and the way that money is, it's not easy to come for money. So when you're paying good money for a ticket, you want to see quality action.
And I think the lesson has been learnt to a certain degree from UFC, hasn't it? In now that, you know, there's been an incident there where they want all fighters fighting each other, all the best fighters fight each other. And again, the boxing public, we talk about Fury, Price, that's what we all aspire to. So every show that is credible, like this show, helps.
Absolutely.
It's all saying, yeah, these are all good matches. I mean, we look at the poster there, and we're all looking forward to Kris Agyei-Dua and Natham Graham. And Kris, it was a bizarre situation last time, wasn't it? He actually said he thought Nathan had pipped the fight.
Yeah.
Which, how often do you see that?
It was a great contest, and it's great to see him getting it on straight away again. You know, because I think it was worthy of a rematch. It was close. It would have gone. It could have gone either way. And fair play to Kris for that. You know, but I mean, look at the other ones. Ian Lewis and Dorian Darch. A lot of stuff going on Twitter there. A lot of, you know, no love lost, and a fight that everybody wants to see. You know, Dorian Darch coming in as 6-0. Ian Lewis, and a great amateur with bags of potential. Never fulfilled it yet as a pro, but you know, since teaming up with Don Charles, I think we're going to see a lot more. So the bill is really exciting. I think it's great value.
Well, top of the bill is the rematch. Let's have a look at what happened last time.
The 29-year-old from Aylesbury, who is 32-year-old, who came late to the pro ranks.
Neither of these two lads know what it means to have a boring fight.
As in he comes, Agyei-Dua. He's caught him a couple of times.
Just caught himself on the way in.
He riled Graham there as well. You could see that he tried to react. Right from the start, they've been piling into each other. That's a terrific punch from Graham, and he's really stung Agyei-Dua there, who comes out.
It's so close. I mean, every round could have gone, you know, either way so far. To be honest, it's just open to interpretation at the moment.
As he looks to come forward in this 5th round of 10, and he's catching Graham now. The ring is rocking with every single one of these heavy blows, and he throws a big right there.
That's a great big left hook.
Might have caught him there.
We almost had a double knockout. Good combination. No, he's got caught.
Great punch, great shot. A real slugfest now, folks. And you can hear the crowd now. She's done enough. Agyei-Dua here, coming in, pinning Graham back in that final round, Kevin.
After 10 rounds of boxing, we go to referee Jeff Hines' scorecard. Referee Hines has scored the bout. Graham 96 points, Agyei-Dua 96 points.
Wow.
It's a draw.
There was another fellow in the ring there, the referee, Spence, but he didn't have an awful lot to do, did he? It was a case of crack on, lads. You know, he barely had to pull them apart. It was a fantastic tussle.